There's a scene which is actually in the trailer where you two are like slapping each other in the grocery store. Are those slaps improv? Are they choreographed? Like
improv.
Were those
real? Because that's what we do in real life. Well, that's what I do to her in real life, and that's her reaction in real life.
The slapping.
Well, here's the thing.
She's like, your face makes me laugh every time.
Because I can't believe what's happening. So here's what happened. We do the who's the champ thing. Right? Who's the champ? Who's the champ? Like before I go on stage, before a big moment, she'll say that to me, and it's a thing, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm the champ. Who's the champ? I'm the champ. Right? There was no slapping involved until we're on camera, and she's like, come on, baby, who's the champ? Who's the champ? And I'm like, I'm the champ.
Are those connecting as the
yes!
seen them? God.
So I had to crack her one.
She cracked me one so hard, I almost peed in my pants. I almost peed in my pants from laughing because she cracked me. Remember that one take where you went, I think it was the first take.
Yeah.
Where you were like, bitch.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Oh,
but
it was so
that's
funny.
the fun part. The idea was to get our real relationship on camera, unadulterated, without like trying to act or anything like that, because that's the relationship that Maya and Joan have in this movie. Yeah. Is that real, authentic friendship.
So I have a filmmaking question. And when they make that Facebook fake profile of what your life is supposed to be, there's a picture of you with Barack Obama and Michelle Obama. Yeah. Is that a real photo of you?
Yeah, that's a real photo at the inauguration, That's
unbelievable. So they use a fake photo in the movie of a real life thing that you went through. That's really kind of cool.
Yeah, we didn't have to Photoshop it, or else we would have to Photoshop it.
Right.
Yeah. Now, obviously, the salt and pepper moment is amazing. I was curious, did that ever happen to you in real life? Will a song come on and you just start breaking out and dance with your friends?
I mean,
that's like every day.
Yeah, that's like normal for girls, just so you know.
Yes.
Yeah. What songs triggered that besides Push It?
We Latigra and Bunny, and we like the boom.
That's like that. We like my favorite song is the one that you never put out as a single.
Right, Good Hit.
Still mad at that.
Really? Do you say, hey, you should put this out as a single?
Yes, and
she loves
you want to see her reaction?
Yeah.
Also, like anything Jennifer does, I feel I need to give her notes. Like I'm like on American Idol.
You have to give me notes on my housekeeper,
everything.
Where I'm putting my furniture,
everything.
Yeah,
everything. And she's like, that's the reaction.
Before I came here today, when I do a lot of interviews for my job, and I never get approached by any of my producers or writers. They're always like, oh, Kevin's interviewing so and so again. But they said, you're interviewing Jennifer Lopez. Say this one thing to her.
Okay.
I think she's living her best life right now.
Yeah.
And her name is Michelle, and she wanted me to tell you that. And she wanted me to ask,
Michelle.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you for that. You're very observant. I do feel like this is my kind of second act, and things are going very well. It took a long time and a lot of struggle for me to kind of figure myself out in a way, and I really do feel good right now. So thank you for recognizing that. Thank you.
This is such an interesting element about book smarts and street smarts.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, as actors, when you're performing in a scene, how much of it does come from training and how much of it comes from just living your real lives?
You say acting has to come from an authentic place.
Yeah.
And so for us who grew up in Brooklyn and the Bronx, and we're playing Queens girls, we're playing outer borough girls, and we know what that life is. And I lived there until I was in my 20s. And then I came out to LA when I became a fly girl, which is in my early 20s. So that life for me is super in my blood and real. I think for you too.
Yeah, and I left earlier, but it's something it's in your blood.
It's ingrained in you, and so we really understand what that is. And so yes, when you're playing these characters, it is so much how real you can make it for yourself, and luckily this was very suited to us.
Yes,
you know, best friends in real life.
Exactly.
And we're best friends, and it was just about like, let's not act when we're on camera. Let's really. I kept telling her, I said, I don't want you to be a different character.
Right.
I want you to be you with me.
Yes.
It's like how we are.
And she was who she is with me.
Yeah.
And so it was amazing.
And that was a part of Maya and Joan.
Yeah.
That's who they were.
Well, it felt real to me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Honor meeting both of you. When did you start seeing the shift from people recognizing you for Gilmore Girls to This Is Us? And do you still get Gilmore Girls, or is it mostly This Is Us?
No, I get Gilmore, I get Heroes, I get Balboa. No one's really commenting on my early commercial work, and it's a little disappointing. But what's nice to see is people have been along with me for years, you know, and have seen a lot of these different guys that I've played and have connected to them in different ways. You know, people will say, I couldn't imagine you were, you know, anyone else other than Jess, and then Peter pops up. Couldn't imagine you're anybody else, and then Jack pops up. You know, and then the theories start popping up, you know, would Jess turn into Jack and all this, and you just kind of go, you know, I'm just trying to be honest with the guys that I play. Like Trey, in this film, I'm really just trying to give an honest depiction of a guy who just wants to be with this girl and start a family. He just loves her, and
One thing I was talking to you before the interview started about Creed 2, and since the movie's out now, I would love to just know kind of how that came about, because obviously you were the younger child in Balboa, and then that through line that he gives you at the end of this one is so cool.
Yeah, a lot of people had forgotten that I was in Rocky Balboa 14 years ago. So when I popped up in this one, or they were wanting me to be in this one, I was like, absolutely. You know, Sly's been very good to me for years, and knowing that I was going to be able to share the screen with him, because he joined our cast on This Is Us for an episode, but I didn't get to work with him.
Oh, yeah.
But Sly's great. He's great, you know, and I think he and I definitely built something together on the last Rocky film that has lasted now 2 Creed films. You're always fighting for Rocky to be with family.
Yeah.
And it's heartbreaking. So for him to earn it at the end of Creed 2, I think it's such a victory for Balboa.
So I love the whole idea of book smarts and street smarts. And I was talking to an actor the other day who is one of the best actors of our time that has never had acting training. So I'm wondering, for you, when you act, how much of it is it from the actual training you've done versus how much of it is it from life lessons you've learned?
I'd say it's probably, I don't know if I could really break it up so much, you know. When I was younger, I trained and I studied, you know. I was at South Coast Repertory, I was at UCLA, but then I dropped out of school, college. You know, you kind of become a student of life, and you're out in the world, and as an artist, you kind of understand that any interaction you have out in the world, whether it's speaking to someone or staring at a rock, you can kind of always apply it to your work. It's soaking in life around you, and having, in a way, your heart and your mind open to the experiences that happen in life, and then just kind of like wrapping it safely in a nice package, and that you can access and use for the work. But you know, like I said, I'm a college dropout, and I think you're
doing okay.
I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
I'm doing all
You're
right.
doing all right.
Yeah. But I think a lot of people get hung up with the idea of what you're going to learn in a book, but really it's, you know, it's what you can learn from someone else, just being out in the world. Unless you're a doctor. If you're a doctor, please study. If you're a lawyer, please study. Yeah.
What is your go-to dance song with your girlfriends?
We honestly, don't... My girlfriends and I are kind of crazy, which I love. I'm kind of crazy, which I love.
We're all kind of crazy.
We'll dance to anything.
Okay.
Anything. It, depends on the mood, though. Sometimes we'll be hanging out, and then an Amigo song comes on, and, it's over.
Okay.
Sometimes we'll be hanging out, and then Adonis Summer songs come on, and then it's a disco. We're into all of it.
Does it just happen randomly like it does in the movie? Where you'll just, break out into dance?
Oh, yeah. All the time. Me and my girlfriends are always those people at the party who are creating a little dance party on their own, whether it's appropriate or not. That's us.
Now your character's obviously into photography, and I love that aspect of it. And when you play somebody who's into photography like she is, do you also find yourself getting more into photography? Because I find it interesting to watch those images in the film.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, that was such a kind of backstory thing that isn't fully pursued.
But I liked it.
But
it was
I
there.
love it. Yeah. There's an underlying current of it for sure. And photography has always been something that I'm very into. My boyfriend is extremely into photography. He loves shooting on film, and so I take his camera sometime and try to experiment. It's hard.
He does you still get his film processed and stuff?
Oh yeah. We have a dark room too, so we're working on trying to figure out how to develop our own film.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's fun. Art is art. Be creative. Do what you want.
Have you ever had a chance to shoot a movie on film, 35 millimeter?
I have not. My boyfriend, this is turning into
that's
my
okay.
boyfriend show. He just did a movie with Quentin Tarantino though, and he said that
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
He said it was so amazing, hearing the film rolling, because that doesn't really happen anymore. We got an 8mm little film camera though that we're making our home movies on though, so we do have film in our life.